phone like this. I don't understand. What's going on, bro? Gotcha. What's up, Miss Trudy? How you doing? I'm here to talk to Miguez, like the next lieutenant that might be on duty is.
You're gonna have to go back out there. 7200 and ask for who and tell them who you'd like to speak to. 7200.
It says, but if you're here during regular business
I know,
hours.
but you gotta go through dispatch so they can find somebody for you to talk to. So tell them who you want to talk to.
I know, but it's contradicting itself. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It says you're supposed to be doing this until 4 p.m.
No, I'm not.
I know. It's almost like you just don't want to do your job or something. That's crazy. What's going on, buddy? How you doing? I'm down here in the lobby. I need your lieutenant to come speak to me. I got some issues with the sergeant, so I'm going up next on the board to the lieutenant. Wang. All right. Hey, is Jen down there? Carrie. Oh, all right. I was going to say, tell her come out here to the lobby. Man, it almost seemed like Miss Trudy just didn't want to do it. What up, gang? What up, gang? Give me 1 second. Set my tripod up. Kathleen, what up? I'm going to need to put a records request in before you go, please. Ooh, they love me here. All right, is the sound a little better today? Sound a little bit better, gang. Whew. Sweating coming down here. All right, cool. Sounds good. Yeah. So I didn't realize last time when I put my AirPods into my backpack that it thought the backpack was so dark that you guys were literally hearing me and those people through my backpack. So the phone wasn't even doing any recording. I feel like, where did I just see that? Would have been a good place to stand. So we'll give you guys a little background. Everybody knows that last week I was down there at the DHS building. As I explained, obviously, this is Terrence Tracy here reporting live from the Annapolis Police Department with Wait, What the Fuck News Network Channel 1A. We are down here because, as you guys just heard me say, last week I was at the DHS building and had a run-in with these officers on live stream. What most of you may not know, or some may have stuck around and saw like later streams to hear me talk about it, I was actually there the day before and was kicked out of the lobby at 4:51. Now, they closed at 5. It wasn't really worth like the principle of sitting there and arguing with him. So I came down here afterwards. I spoke to his sergeant, someone I've spoken to. You guys have seen him plenty of times. I'm sure he'll come out here. Anyway, he called me back today and basically tried to explain to me that if someone asks you to leave a building, you just have to do that. No questions asked. That if someone who works there asks you to leave, no matter what, you just have to leave. And that's how it is. He's ignoring the first part of the statute. You guys have heard me explain this 1,000 times, but once again, for educational purposes, the statute that they try and use is Maryland 6-409. It's trespassing at a public agency during business hours. They try to use Part 2, subsection B, which says if an authorized agent of the property asks you to leave and you refuse to do so, then you are trespassing. What they ignore is the first part of the statute. There's 2 parts to Part 1. You either have to have no apparent legal or lawful business, or and it's or is the verbiage on there. You have to be acting in a manner that is disruptive to the flow of business, not disruptive to some lady's feelings, disruptive to the flow of business. And that's where part two comes in. And you have to be asked to leave by an authorized agent and refuse to do so in order to then be trespassing. They want to ignore the fact that I have legal and lawful business. Even outside of doing these news reports, gathering content for stories in public areas, we have a right to go and apply for public services. I'm allowed to do that. As I explained to you, I watch multiple people come in there. And again, it's a pattern thing. There was multiple people of color that came in there and got help, and somehow the only white dude that walked in there got told he actually have an appointment and needed to leave. So I was threatened with arrest for asking for public services and told that what's going on, boss? Ashian, what's up, brother? Ain't seen you in a while. Ain't seen you in uniform, man. What's going on, boss?
Just so you know, my body camera's activated. So
I got you, brother.
Recording our interaction.
I got you.
Video.
Gotcha. I was just kind of explaining to the audience what was going on, how the statute worked, and kind of why I was down here to speak. Do you still do internal affairs? You're still the person who handles that?
No, I'm the patrol commander.
But just okay. So ultimately, I spoke to Wang today, and in my discussion with Wang, he basically tells me that as long as someone who works at a place asks you to leave, you just automatically have to do so, no questions asked. He's ignoring the first part of the statute. I tried to explain to him. I even explained to him that I myself have set case law and precedent in the state of Maryland, Maryland v. Tracy 2023, with Ms. Brooke Hoffenke and both Madison Bushnish from the Public Defender's Office down here at the courthouse regarding receiving public services during business hours and someone just wanting to refuse to do so, and whether that constitutes you trespassing at a public agency. I've been down this. I tried to, and that's why I didn't want to argue with Carson out there on Thursday because it was 4:51. The place closed at 5 o'clock. I wasn't going to sit there and argue with him for 9 minutes for a principal thing. I came down here. I explained to Wang my issue because he was the next sergeant supervisor to Carson, what was going on. He called me today and just had that kind of back and forth with me. Well, maybe your behavior, maybe it was part of your demeanor. Well, how was my demeanor, sir? Well, I mean, I can't really speak to that. Okay, well then why are you speaking to that? It makes no sense right now. Basically, he's trying to tell me that if one of those ladies down there, and let's just say that she doesn't like the cut of my jib because I whooped her son's ass in baseball last year or something like that. But now I go down there to get services, but she doesn't fucking like me. And she just says, I'm not helping you. You have to leave. Now, magically, as a citizen of this United States of America, I just have to leave a public building when asking for public services because the public servant doesn't just simply want to do their job and they don't like the cut of my jib. Like, it doesn't make much sense. He tries to bring up how I get excited and sometimes talk loud, but none of that happens until after I'm refused services and told to leave and threatened with trespass. So, like, hindsight's 2020, Ash. You know, you can't be like, I asked you to leave because I knew after I asked you to leave, you were going to get upset. Like, that's fucking retarded. You know what I mean? That makes zero sense, brother. So, as I told Wang on the phone, I was simply going to come down here and explain to him so he could let Carson know because they came out there the next day. Uh, who was the dickhead guy that was out here the one day in the silver SUV? He's like the bald black dude, the detective, kind of like ripped dude, wears the skinny suit pants, drives the silver SUV. His name's like Wayne or something, or Dwayne or something like that. Man, I can't think of his name right now, but I dealt with him out here. Anyway, he came down there with Parker and Rube and more down there to the same DHS building when I went back the next day and they tried the same shit. Obviously, it didn't work out for him because I had a couple hours and was going to stand on business that day. I wasn't just going to relinquish my rights because there was only, like, what am I going to do? Argue for 9 minutes? You know what I mean? But fuck that, dude. So I stand up for myself, and they obviously agree that, yeah, he has a right to be here and ask for services. Like, they can't dictate how and when I'm allowed to get services. If someone is allowed to walk off the street and get services in that building, then every motherfucker is allowed to walk off that street and get services in that building. I don't care if you don't like the cut of my jib, the color of my skin. I don't care if you don't even like the fact that I do this shit and expose people. It is your job. And if you do not want to help people, there's a fucking job line down there at the local home, and they'll help you. There's a recruiter that'll help you find a new job. There's plenty of places hired on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or Indeed or Monster or one of these places. But the public sector is not a place to have an ego that is too big for your body. It is about helping the people, brother. That is why I come here and do this shit. Like, that's why I tried to do this without doing the whole video thing, because it's not about making videos, but y'all want to make it bigger than it is. So we're going to use this as another example to educate you guys the same way I did on the trash situation. It's fucked up, man. I shouldn't have to do this to get basic public services out of anybody or anything. Sorry, brother. You're good. It's facing me. It's not facing you. I shouldn't have to do that though, Ashion, and that's why I'm pissed off. Is because someone's trying to tell me, regardless of me saying, "Look, read the statute," as I explained to them, they're ignoring the first part of the statute, brother. The verbiage, Maryland 6-409, trespassing at a public agency during business hours. Part 1 has A and B. It says you are considered trespassing if, one, you have no apparent legal or lawful business, or, and that's the verbiage in part 1, or, so it's one of those two. It doesn't have to be both, just one. Or you are acting in a manner that is disruptive to the flow of business. And me holding a camera and someone being upset about it is not me being disruptive to the flow of business. Them screaming and being disorderly in front of your officers while they're trying to insinuate that it's somehow my fault by doing my legal and lawful business that she's acting like a fucking nut and being disorderly. And then part 2 that you guys try to use says, and. So this is where it comes in very clear that you have to be doing one of those two things of part 1 and violating part 2, which says if an authorized user of the place asks you to leave and you refuse to do so, then yes, you will be trespassed or you are considered trespassing. You can't just like jump to the bottom of the fucking page and ignore everything that comes before it. I know y'all love to do that shit. I don't say y'all because you have actually filed some complaints that have come back substantiated and not exonerated in my favor. And I appreciate that because I filled out maybe 20 of these over my career and only 2 of them have ever come back substantiated. So I appreciate that. It means that you actually went and did do something. And thank you for that. So I don't mean you when I say you. I mean you as the police department because a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, y'all like to do that shit. So that's why I try to come down here and just tell the sergeant, say, hey, Carson, listen, this is what's going on. But the sergeant's obviously fucking ill-informed. So now I'm going to have to go to the next person and maybe the next person and maybe until somebody understands that people are allowed to get services in person. I'm going to go deal with the same shit tomorrow at the city hall down there. The same shit because they don't want to allow me to file a records request in person. That'd be like me filing a records request and Miss Kathleen saying, I'm not going to fucking accept it. Like, what? You're not allowed to do that. I understand that you might have an online portal. You might have a phone portal. You might have a this portal, but somebody is also allowed to come in and do them in person. That's why I signed in on the thing. Like, brother, I signed in. I sat down quietly and waited to do my shit. They insinuated that I didn't have an appointment. They're intimidated because a nerdy looking white kid who is well spoken fucking just comes down there and berates them with verbal judo and they can't accept it. That I read the video game instruction manual in this game called life a little more than the other people out here, brother. And I'm just not gonna let them fuck me over or like trample on me. I like I said, dude, there's a place and a time for that, and the public sector is not it. I'm sorry for bitching this whole time. It's just like, fuck. I try to explain that to Wang, and it could be a simple conversation, but like,
So, Mr. Tracy, it's my understanding you asked me to come out here today so that you could speak to me.
yes, sir.
And aside from telling me what you just told me, what else can I do for you?
I want to file a formal complaint. I don't want it to just be something that I speak to you about. I want it to go through the whole process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me go.
Because I got some evidence to submit on Carson because before Carson got there, according to my demeanor that they want to speak on, there's a whole bunch of evidence. Wang said he didn't want it the other day, but then he went and did an investigation anyway. So like I said to Wang, I could have just spoken to him. He could have said, look, I'll let him know. He's obviously ill-informed. So now we're going to do the whole process until somebody understands, brother.
Let me go grab some paper.
Thank you, brother.
Okay.
Thank you, boss. Sorry, y'all know I get long-winded. I get caught up. I get emotional. Wear the heart on the sleeve. It's just like, fuck, man. Like, the public sector is not the place to be fucking around with giving people services or not. Like, if you don't like the fact that I'm educated and I speak well and I look like some nerdy ass fucking kid and you think that I don't need services, like, cool. It's not about what you think. It's about doing what is right for the people. Y'all just heard me say there's a spot, many places that will help you find a job if you don't want to help people. But fuck, I'm not going to stand by and watch you just like abuse the shit out of your position with some ill perceived authority and an ego that is too big for your body. Y'all have heard me say it 1,000 times. I will stand up for every single one of y'all. I will take that fight, that battle, that licking, whatever it might be. I'll take it, dog. I can handle that shit and keep coming back out here making these videos. What, they thought put me in a jail cell or like charge me with some fraudulent crimes in Cecil County was going to scare me into not making some videos? Like, the fuck? It's just crazy, man. Like, the extent that people have to go to get like the most basic of shit in this country nowadays is absurd. Hopefully shit's changing. I don't know. Shit seems to be going just like in a worse direction every time you look at it. But like, hopefully shit changes. I gotta hope that it's gonna change. What the fuck? Why does Kathleen look like that in that photo? That's that white lady that just went by out here 2 seconds ago. I'm so confused. Why she look like that? I'm sorry, that caught me. Yeah, shit be going just the wrong direction. Not even like politically speaking. Y'all know I'm in the middle of this shit. I'm not left. I'm not right. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm a person. I'm a person who wants like the best for every single fucking one of us, regardless of like race, gender, nationality, like religious preference, whatever the fuck it might be, dog. Like if you're a good human being, you're a good human being, and I want the best for you. If you're a piece of shit, you know, I want shitty things for you. Let me come see what the chat's saying. Yes, I do. I belong to the taco party. I do belong to the taco party. No, I am not from Pakistan, Ben Chod. Jupakar Ben Chod. Langlera? What's going on? Doing good, brother. I thought you was the detective I was looking for a little bit ago. I was like, oh, no, that ain't him. He look all concerned. He looked all concerned. I feel like there's a way to, I feel like I can turn this sideways and still lock it into this thing. Oh, I can. Oh, we on them now, gang. This shit wasn't even locked in before. What up, Jake? What up, brother? Oh, we locked in now, baby. All right, let's unlock that so we can hit the spinny dupe. I hit the spinny dupe. I hit the spinny dupe. I hit the spinny dupe. Now lean back. That way when Kathleen comes back, we get full 360 radius of her walking through. Oh, no, it wasn't a cop. I thought it was the cop that I was talking about earlier. It's like the ripped ass like young black dude. He probably about like 35. Anyway, he like looks like he's wearing like skinny jeans, but they're suit pants. But it looks like they're like 3 sizes too small. Like I think I wear a 36 regular. He probably wearing a 34, and he about 4 inches bigger than I am. Bro, about to bust out that motherfucker. If anybody needs any decals, any stickers, let me know. Make them Johns for you. Send them to you. Messages, yo. Yeah, Ashley came down. Yeah. I'm waiting on her to come back. Appreciate you, brother. Stealth Ninja. It looked like it. It looked like it at one time. I was like, "Hey, my man, you all right, dog? You need to borrow my pants. My little brother borrowed my suit to go to court one day. You wanted to?" I'll let y'all see the people from here. So there's some folks over here. There's the chief at the top left, right there. That's Chief Edward Jackson. And then that's the deputy dude, Sam Bradford, right there. Stanley Branford. Damn it, Bradford. Lieutenant Bradford. Where the fuck is Bradford from? Lieutenant Bradford. Someone let me know where Lieutenant Bradford is from. Which one of those oh, you know what? I think that was Howard County. I want to say Howard County is where Bradford was from. Anyway, there's Kathleen. That's Dave's wife. That's who I used to deal with sometimes when I came down here. Dave, that's the guy who called me racist last time. That's his wife, Amy. She's a lieutenant. And then there is our governor, and then the lieutenant governor. How you doing? And then there is Mayor Gavin. But you're fine. You can come in. And then there is Mayor Gavin. If you need to see someone, they'll make you call like 7200 on that phone. It says till 4, which it ain't 4 yet, but I had to, yeah. You're welcome. And then there is the mayor, and then also our city manager. Y'all will recognize this as the guy with the dog. The one time I asked him if I could pet his dog, and he acted all pissed off, and I didn't understand why. It's because he works for the city. He's not even a good dog owner. Like, you should know, regardless of whatever shit you believe in, like playing with someone else's dog transcends that. You say hi to all dogs everywhere. Like, dogs get free passes. They're not included in your ideologies or your theologies or your political views or your bullshit. Like, a doggo is just a doggo, and he just wants some love when he walks by, brother, and that's all I'm trying to do. Straight up, brother. Straight up. Babaloo, thank you, sir. No Pixar movie, but we are on the way up. Nah, you fine. I'll turn it this way, so I'll stand over here by myself. If you want to sit down, I'll turn it so you can sit down. You're welcome. They got you the help you needed?
Yes.
All right, cool. Miss Kathleen. We're going to have to put a new one of them records requests. Oh, yeah, it took me like an extra hour to get down here and set this up. I had some shit I had to deal with when I first got home. My buddy gave me a ride to my doctor's appointment this morning, and then when I got home, I had to help with some bullshit. Thank you, Miss Gail. I appreciate you. Thank you, Miss Gail. I appreciate you. Thank you, Chris. Good to see y'all too, brother. Appreciate you. Who else we got in here? Time and Execution, Big Lou, G-Ma. What you doing, Big Grammy? EJ, Big Mike. We got Jonathan in here. Appreciate you, brother. Isaac. Stealth Ninja, Boom Script. There's a lot of people. Some new names too. Some new names. I like seeing new names in here.
I'm on my way. I left out the building, but I'm standing over here waiting for police officer.
Those just tuning in, we are down here waiting for the police officer to come back out with all of his like legal pad and information for me to give like the whole like story of what happened down there at the DHS building and stuff. So we're just waiting on Ashiam to come back out here now. See, look, it says the lobby's open from 7 to 4. Please come inside. There's a phone in the left corner of the lobby across from the reception desk, meeting over there. They've now moved it out front, and as you saw, Trudy didn't want to help me when I came in, so she just left. I gotta stop making posts letting them know that I'm coming down here beforehand, because then they just do shit like that. As soon as they see me show up, they all just like scatter like cockroaches and try and hide in the back offices and get paid not to do any work all day. Shit, I'll take that job.
Mr. Tracy, I'm back.
What's going on, brother?
Reminder, my body camera was audio video recording on our interaction.
You were good. I turned it because I didn't want to put her in our live stream. That was all.
So here's the paperwork associated with the complaint.
Okay.
Most of it, the bulk of it is just the narrative section. I provided you with some additional copies here, along with a pen. And I imagine you'll, I mean, I know you indicated that you already knew who I am. But
Yeah, I think it's the first time I've seen you in like actual uniform. Normally it's like suit, shirt, and pants. Different days, yeah. Different days call for different things.
Yeah. So there you go.
Thank you, brother.
You can use that desk right there if you'd like. You can use that area in there.
Awesome. I can just sit at this desk. It's fine. Okay, so now we are going to sit and fill this out. I actually don't want to take my earphones out.
And if you need me for anything, my phone number's still on there. The extension is 7321 for that 9000 number.
Okay.
And actually, if you dial it from the phone that's out there, it'll just go straight to my desk.
Awesome.
Okay?
Thank you, brother.
All right, you're welcome.
Appreciate you. And so, as you guys know, this is obviously the first step in the process when you're going to file something on police for misconduct or something like that. The first step is obviously reporting it with like the supervising officer and things like that, and then they'll sit here and fill it out. Look at his ass. Look at him. So look, this is who was out there on Thursday, right? That was who was out there on Thursday and tried to tell me I needed to leave the building because he said so. Civil matter.